wanna ride the boat. Baby, take control.
What it do? It's your boy T-Lee, and I'm back with another fire reaction. Today we're gonna be reacting to Gunna embarrassing these rappers. I feel like ever since he didn't get out, the whole industry been trying to work hard so he can fail. But I'm not gonna say too much. Let's get into it on why Gunna is embarrassing these rappers. Let's get it, man. Make sure y'all subscribe. Like that.
No. Guess who's embarrassing these rappers? That's right, Gunna. Now, Gunna, whatever you want to call it. It's definitely not been a while since we last spoke about Gunna. He's been the man of a lot of conversations we've had recently. Gunna is, of course, a 30-year-old rapper out of Atlanta who's honestly doing what a lot of people thought he couldn't do. He was locked up for 7 months after getting arrested for the YSL, Rico, and Diamond, which took down close to 30 alleged gang members. Young Thug being pointed out as the head honcho. Thug is still behind bars. Gunna announced his album A Gift and a Curse. It's been doing phenomenal. People are loving it. Everyone said that Gunna would come out and not have any fans because he took a plea deal. Everyone said that Gunna would come out and be blackballed from the rap industry. We don't mess with rats, they said. We don't mess with the guy who threw the same man who brought him up under the bus, they said, which he didn't really do because he took a plea deal where he entered a guilty plea in court, but at the same time was able to maintain his innocence, and there's no proof that any of his statements are being used in the conviction of YSL. Let's talk about What You Mean. Yeah. A great record, which is doing amazing. If you guys are not aware of what's going on, this song is currently outstreaming and outpacing Young Thug's entire project. Crazy. Now, Gunna's record, What You Mean, is currently number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100. It's already accumulated over 60 million streams on Spotify. It's getting millions of streams on the daily. I've been streaming the hell out of that record. So much to the point that he is in bottom streaming the head honcho.
Bro, like I said, I feel like Gunna album was better than Thugger's, man. That's my opinion, though. A lot of people...
So, Thugger. Gunna's album, if you don't know, pushed 85K first week. Great numbers. While Thug's album did a little more. 89K first week. Not surprised that Thugger managed to sell more. At the end of the day, it's Young Thug. Whether or not he's behind bars, the name still holds a lot of...
Them numbers don't mean nothing. I think a lot of people get numbers and talent confused. The music was still good. No matter the numbers or anything, you can't take away from how good the music was. I think that's what the industry gets it confused and be like, oh, that's weak because of numbers. Nah, that's cap.
The culture, and that's what it is. Currently, however, Gunna's album is outpacing not only Thug's, but every single rapper, actually, except for Uzi, who's number 1. Gunna's album is currently at number 7 on the Billboard 200, beating out Taylor Swift, who's at number 8. Enjoy while it lasts, Gunna, because Taylor gonna start climbing. She's a different kind of monster. It is what it is. Believe it or not, a lot of people are actually not happy about this. Why? You guessed it. I don't even need to say it at this point. There's only one reason why they don't want to see one at the top. You already know, okay? It's been really interesting seeing people be so shaken up about this whole thing. It's almost like people have been so brainwashed into caring about all this stuff that has no effect on their life. But you know what? It kind of makes sense because being a contrarian to, you know, the so-called snitches in hip-hop has always been a thing. You don't work with the feds in any capacity, even if it involves innocent people and kids dying. What an honorable mindset to have, right? What a productive way to look at things. The rap industry was the same industry that blackballed a rapper by the name of Pop Hunter. You guys remember that story? If you don't, let me fill in the blanks really quick. Pop Hunter was that Philly rapper who was blown up some time back, and as a 14-year-old boy, he testified in a case involving another kid brutally getting gunned down. The documents involving Pop Hunter's name leaked, where he was seen testifying, and a bunch of grown men in hip-hop came out and condemned this young man, to the point where now you don't even hear his name. Now, mind you, he was 14 at the time and had witnessed a little kid getting his head blown
14.
Up, and they somehow convinced a whole lot of brainwashed hip-hop fans to castigate this man. For what? By helping his community become a better environment, by aiding law enforcement and putting a killer behind bars?
That's crazy. 14. Not a grown person. 14. Still figuring out the world.
As little work as possible, then keep scrolling.
I don't know.
The Gunna situation is obviously different because at the end of the day, the boy Sergio was affiliated to an alleged criminal organization that was involved in alleged murders. For that reason, I'm not going to sit here and say that Gunna is the best popular guy out there. That would be hypocritical of me to say considering the circumstances. At the end of the day, Gunna was affiliated with YSL, which he no longer is, mind you, but he was affiliated to the network and guilty by association. I'm never gonna praise Gunna for being such a good guy, but I also can't condemn him too harshly because he was arrested for his connection with the organization, he did his time, and he distanced himself from the same life that got him caught up in the first place. Now he's a law-abiding citizen in the free world, staying away from the BS, feeding his family, taking care of his people, so who the am I or anybody else to condemn this man for the current him? There's absolutely no reason to go off on him until he proves us otherwise. I look at this as an opportunity to give back to my community and educate young men and women that gangs and violence only lead to destruction, Gunna said. Did you know that one of the conditions of Gunna's release was he's going to have to do 350 hours of speaking to young men and women about the hazards and immorality of gangs and gang violence? Can we please get a standing ovation for Gunna? Because the rap game is obviously not going to salute him for that. And it doesn't really matter that this is conditional because some people are going to say that I already know. He's only going to do it because he has to. That might be true, but these 350 hours of him speaking out against gang violence, how the hell is that not a win? I mean, I don't even think you can argue against that. Gunna is influential. His words are going to have a positive impact, especially considering, you know, the kind of artist that he is. They said a lot of things about Gunna, as the white news anchors like to say. They wanted this man to fail. For what reason? Well, in order to attempt at upholding him to some type of moral street code. That's an oxymoron, because ain't no morals, ethics, or principles when it comes to gang members. But they wanted to hold Sergio Kitchens accountable to this non-existent street code. But all that, like we've seen in front of our eyes, holds no weight. All that talk rappers do about sticking to the code doesn't exist. A lot of the same guys condemning Gunna so strongly right now are the same guys who are gonna be, or probably are at the very moment, begging for a feature from him behind closed doors. They try to convince us to care, but why should we care? Why should we, as law-abiding citizens who pay our taxes, hopefully you do, because they're gonna get you otherwise, and stay out of trouble, really care? The only people who should care and do care are the rappers who are making millions from the same image that they criticize Gunna for not staying consistent with. This is their job, so of course they're gonna try to convince us to get invested in it. Fuck you, mean I'ma care? Yeah. So I say it's not cool to protect killers. What a controversial statement to make as someone who runs a hip-hop platform. Y'all want to protect a bunch of trigger-happy hotheads who wouldn't hesitate to put a bullet in you or your family. It don't make sense, it's backwards, but then again, to keep...
At the same time, y'all don't even know these people personally to be having opinions. Y'all don't even know these people personally. They're not even paying y'all.
Making a statement is, however, considered snitching because the culture is backwards. I mean, you can help the police catch a killer who killed a kid, and they're gonna look at you and say, he's a snitch. At that point, to me at least, you're just as bad as the killer. Because what's gonna happen is that person is out in society, and then they're gonna kill more people, and probably, maybe even someone you're related to. You get what I'm saying? Now, Gunna came out after he took an Alfred plea deal, which is essentially a way for someone to enter a guilty plea in a criminal court case, but at the same time, you're able to maintain your innocence. Gunna was able to make this happen with his legal team, and there's absolutely no proof that any of the statements he made are being used in the conviction of YSL. Now, he did corroborate what they already knew, which is that YSL is a gang, allegedly. Is that snitching? I say unless he pointed out specific crimes and filled in the blanks for the state, which there's no proof that he did. I don't call that snitching. Also, another reason why I think Gunna was able to make this happen in the first place is because what he actually got arrested for in comparison to the rest of the criminal network wasn't really that bad, meaning they charged Gunna with 1 count of racketeering, and this was a 56-count indictment. Now, what was the 1 count for? Well, they allegedly caught him receiving some type of stolen property, and he was also in possession of drugs, including methamphetamine, marijuana, and hydrocodone, with the intent to distribute. Also, another thing is a traffic stop that involved both Thug and Gunna and their vehicles, where they were close to being followed by 4 people armed with AK-47s with 30-round mags. These were all things that were used against Gunna to serve as proof by the state that he was in fact affiliated to this alleged criminal network that is YSL. So they connected Gunna to it, unleashed this indictment on YSL, and then picked them up for this in court. In the end, however, he was able to get out, and here we are today. Gunna currently has one of the hottest rap songs in the rap industry, and yeah, he's definitely embarrassing a lot of these rappers out here. Let's just say that.
A lot of people doubt it.
If everyone liked the video,
a lot of people doubt it, man. But tell me your opinion. Let me know in the comments. Appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Follow me on all social medias below. We're on a road to 100K subscribers, and we out of here.
What you gon' do now?